Folks, this is not getting a lot of coverage. Over in the Senate, Senate Judiciary Chairman Dick Durbin is trying to smear the Supreme Court, saying they do not hold the highest possible ethical standards. Durbin said the ethics letter that he sent to Chief Justice John Roberts shows that the court is acting on its own, which is actually how it should be. If you look at the Constitution and the separation of powers, Democrats have turned on the court because it is now a majority constitutional court. Leftist California Congressman Adam Schiff even said as much, tweeting that the court needs to be expanded to make sure that it tilts left again, and demanding term limits be put in place. Let's now bring in our panel, former law clerk to Justice Neil Gorsuch and the founder and president of Internet Accountability Project, Mike Davis. Also, we have former Trump Justice Department official and a senior fellow for the Center for Renewing America, Jeff Clark. Gentlemen, welcome. Question is for both of you. The first one, how dangerous are these moves by the Democrats to undermine the court simply because it doesn't follow their extra constitutional philosophy? Mike, you go first.
Well, it's pretty clear that they want to discredit the Supreme Court with the goal of destroying it, and they're pretty open about this. They want to do it through court packing, impeachment, term limits, jurisdiction stripping. This is not a conspiracy. It was in the 2020 Democrat National Committee presidential platform. And what they're trying to do, President Trump transformed the federal judiciary, including the Supreme Court, to a constitutionalist majority for the first time in 90 years. Democrats don't like that because the Supreme Court is the last line of defense protecting Americans' rights. And so now Democrats are simply trying to destroy the Supreme Court.
Jeff, what about you?
So I've taken to calling this the court sacking plan of 2023. If they can't do the court packing, which is their attempt to replicate the 1930s plan by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, which failed, then they're going to try to dirty up the conservative justices so much that they hope to drive someone from the court. And they've spent decades trying to drive Clarence Thomas from the court, so it's no surprise that they begin with him. And I see racism there. Look, I think I'll worry about the kinds of things they're talking about, like justices teaching at European law schools over the summer after we find out who the Dobbs leaker is, because I also think all this activity by the Democrats and by the Senate Judiciary Committee here, led by Durbin, is an attempt at payback for Dobbs. That's a big constituency for the left, and they want to show that they're taking maximum efforts to drive the justices out who gave that decision last year.
No, I'm with you. I think this is another high-tech lynching, a courtesy of the party that is the party of the KKK in the Deep South, and now it's another high-tech lynching, and now Durbin and AOC and Adam Schiff are leading the charge. This hearing stems from accusations against Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Democrats are trying to make it a crime because he took vacations with wealthy friends. And if that's a crime, then all those Democrats, by the way, are guilty as well. But just analyze their case. Jeff, first for you, how serious do you think these accusations are?
I think that these accusations are ones that run directly against the separation of powers, as you started out with. That's precisely why the Chief Justice told the Senator Durbin, look, I'm not going to show up. This is unprecedented. You can't do this kind of thing. It reminds me very much of the fact that he didn't show up for the second impeachment hearing against former President Trump, because that was constitutional anathema too. They're trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. They're not looking at any of the issues over the years in terms of the reports, involving, for instance, Justice Sotomayor, or the husband of the newest Justice Jackson. It's a double standard, and I do think that it smacks of racism.
Well, Mike, I've got to ask you, too, that if you look at their legal case, their analysis, is there any there? Every legal analysis I've seen says this is complete and utter tripe being launched by the Democrats.
This is all legal nonsense. These justices have their accountants review these filings. They have the legal counsel at the Supreme Court review these filings. And then they have the legal counsel at the administrative office of the U.S. courts review these filings. The Democrats have hated Clarence Thomas for 40 years since he escaped the Democrat plantation. His wife, Jenny, never worked in the Democrats' kitchen. They hate Clarence Thomas. They've tried to chase him off for 31 years. All they are doing is emboldening the Thomases. He's not going anywhere.
The biggest crime we minorities can commit against the Democrat Party is to be conservatives and stand up for the Constitution. That's why they hate this program. That's why they hate Clarence Thomas. Mike David and Jeff Clark, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.